Hold up, remix.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, hog, dog. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkey. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb.
Yo, what up?
Is it Thanksgiving time?
Thanksgiving.
All right.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast studio. It is the week of Thanksgiving. You got all of your leaders here. We've got Gramps.
Hello.
We've got Grace.
Hello.
We've got
Noah.
your host, Holden, and
Noah.
And soon to be joining us, we'll have Lori. She's on her way here, and we're going to get all the leaders on here as we're going to have a thankful Thanksgiving podcast with a little bit of
Santa?
Christmas involved too, just because it's we're getting in the Christmas spirit. Christmas time comes right after Thanksgiving, but we all got some good food to eat this week.
That's right.
By the way,
always in the Christmas spirit.
Me too. I'm the same way. You
I
guys
love
missed
Christmas.
out on some killer Thanksgiving food at lunch today.
Sure was.
I hate
It was
that.
delicious.
Gramps was falling asleep before he even he was in the process of first two bites off the plate, ready to go
It's
to
been a
bed.
busy weekend, and it was just.
Well, speaking of a
started putting
busy
that
weekend-
food in, and then it was like
Speaking of a busy weekend, what's been going on with you, Gramps?
been finishing up the remodel of the remix of the youth room.
Remix.
It's looking good in there.
It looks great.
It looks so good. In
It's
the
awesome.
new
Thankful
There you
that
go.
we've been able to do that.
Amen.
room.
You name
It's very snazzy in there now.
It is. Like you walk in before, it's still crazy to look at the before and after pictures and go, there's no way this room used to be that tiny.
I feel like
I
should.
just said that. Like, it's crazy
Yeah.
we used to all fit.
Yeah.
Or the couches used to fit
Well,
in there.
we were wall to wall,
That's true.
every inch of the floor covered nearby.
And sitting on the floor.
It almost feels like you should walk in and those two double doors now should just open up and there should be a Starbucks barista just standing back there ready to hand you a coffee.
Maybe the next project.
D now is coming. We'll make coffee
There we
all over
go.
again.
Oh,
But
no.
we're getting a different coffee maker or something.
we got to get something different than that one.
Because that was,
Oh.
no one I realized
Or
in that
maybe
day.
we just need some new coffee
Makers.
workers.
I
Some
don't
new
agree.
baristas.
We need some new coffee makers.
I
That's
don't-
right.
I don't agree with half of what you just said. The
I'm
part
so
of it, you were
sorry.
talking about us as the makers, not the actual maker. I think we did a great job, by the way. We made a huge mess,
You
but we
just
did a
couldn't
great
keep
job.
up with demand. And you know
No.
what? That's not on y'all. That's
Right.
not on y'all.
I mean, when you have an industrial-sized coffee pot maker,
That doesn't know how to quit making coffee.
yes, like
Just
you put water in it, it's coming, whether you're ready or not. Something's about to come out the other end, whether it's coffee, dirty water, it don't matter.
Oh.
We're just thankful y'all didn't hype all the youth up like you did, Caroline.
It was fun though, you know. I think it was helpful for us at least because I drank it and it's the strongest coffee I've ever drank in my entire life.
Yeah, your eyes popped open pretty wide.
Yeah, but you know what happened to half of the other ones? Still went to sleep. I was like, "What are y'all doing? We just had coffee, you know."
They
Fun time.
probably
That
all
was
have like ADHD, and so like the caffeine just like evened them out so they could go to sleep.
yeah. When you're drinking coffee and then following it up with a Coke, probably not a good combo there. It leads for a full night of awakeness. Anyways, so this is Growing Upstairs. It's a podcast about growing with God together. Talk about Jesus, life, and music. We're excited to be here as we're all going to be talking about thanks and all this good stuff. And our final leader has reached the room.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, hog, dog. Beans,
Gotta get
greens,
those headphones
potatoes,
on.
tomatoes, chicken, turkey.
Wait, can you guess what we're listening to? Can you guess what we're listening to before you put your headphones on?
Greens, potatoes,
Before you put your headphones on.
Welcome in, Miss Lori. Well, she's got to get a microphone and everything set up here and just, no, let's hit it again. I just get that going the whole time. Somebody's like, what are they doing in here?
Do we need to change?
boy.
Do we need to change seats?
This is an actual list of everything that I will be consuming on Thanksgiving.
Organized confusion.
Hey y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Welcome in. Glad to have you guys here. Hopefully, we're going to make this whole microphone thing work out. By the way, I think I found a way to fix this problem where we're going to have a fifth mic, and it's called a splitter. But I've got to find the stuff to go get.
Or you just sitting down having to move that pillar. I was wondering the other night when I was
She moved the
putting
whole
everything
pillar?
back, what happened to one of our couch pillows?
There we go.
And now I see y'all stole it.
She
again.
moved the
Y'all keep-
entire concrete
y'all keep
post in front of
stealing
the
Lord,
everything
strong,
from
y'all.
the youth room. 2 chairs went missing. Now What else are y'all going to take from the youth room?
Well, we found a TV. We stuck it in here. No telling what else we might come across here in just a little while.
It's just piece by piece. It's slowly.
Piece. You ever heard that song by Kelly
So if it goes
Clarkson?
missing from my youth room now, I know to come down to the podcast room and see.
Probably your first stop.
Missing.
Your first stop should be here. Hey, Lori, how you been doing?
So good. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you. We're just going around the room. We just finished with Gramps talking about how his time's been. How have you been doing over the last week or so since we all were last together?
Really good. I was trying to think of what I've been doing.
Really, can a lot have happened between now and then. You know, it's really only been a few days, a week almost.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, Grace, how about you? How have things been going? Dog sitting and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, I had a full week of dog sitting, actually. Wednesday, I sat for a 8-week golden retriever puppy. He was so cute.
Golden retriever.
I know.
He what?
He was so cute.
He
Actually,
really-
I thought you said he was so too.
I did say
really,
that, actually.
really bathroom prone, you know. Careful.
Really cute. But she got into an ant bed, so that was not fun for me. And then this weekend, I sat for 2 golden retrievers.
They were not a baby.
They were
both
not baby. They were
huge.
big boys. Well, one was a boy and a
He's a
girl.
big boy.
Big boy.
Know why, right? Because he was eating?
Greens, potatoes, and meat.
I'm
Probably
going to go
so.
back to that 40 times now.
But that was really fun. The house I stayed in was nice too, so that was fun.
Hey, it's good when you get to do,
It's nice
like,
when you
to help
sit
somebody, but you also get to be in, like, a really
nice
nice place.
house.
Like that.
Yeah.
Nothing
And then
wrong
I
with that.
saw my friend's baby today, and I took Christmas pictures of her, so that was really fun too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Noah? How about you?
Man, you know, just trying to get a little bit in the Christmas spirit this week. I actually got my tree inside the house.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep. So the tree's up, no lights on it yet. And then, you know, just work was busy this week. I think everybody's kind of starting to get in that mood where they're starting to buy Christmas presents and things are kind of getting busy. It's starting to get to that time of the year. So, and then had a good trip. Got to go to Statesboro this weekend and see my alma mater play, and unfortunately they lost on Saturday. But it was a fun time. So that was a good trip. But everything's been going well.
I hate
Humbug. I'm with Noah. Y'all starting Christmas way too early. It's Thanksgiving.
Gramps.
Christmas has, Thanksgiving
Time
has
for beans,
like 2
greens,
days.
potatoes, tomatoes.
We talked about this already on this podcast. Thanksgiving is a day. Christmas is a season. Fall is a whole nother season.
I'll
that
give
Christmas is
Thanksgiving
in the middle of.
2 days. Thanksgiving has
anyway.
Wednesday and Thursday, and that's it.
I don't know. I think it's more Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Wednesday if you got to travel, I guess.
And
That's
cooking,
another thing.
like preparing, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I was thinking about with the bank this week. Everybody being off too, like middle of the week and everything. Everybody's trying to get stuff together last week, so
Black Friday's
I'm
coming
sure
up
this
too,
week's
so.
gonna be pretty busy too. But y'all are open Friday. You said.
Yeah, we'll be open half a day.
I feel like y'all are probably gonna be pretty dead.
Probably
that
busy.
day. You think you'll be busy?
Busy on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about Friday.
Friday probably.
I feel like everybody's gonna be like, no, we all Friday. We ain't going nowhere. Ain't doing nothing. What about you? You going somewhere?
No, I went Black Friday shopping this week and got all the new monitors for the youth room. So I've done my Black Friday shopping. I get to eat and sleep.
Done with
and
it
y'all
already?
can all go fight the crowds.
I'm not fighting any crowds this year. I'm hanging out at the house, not doing anything. Kind of same thing. Not really much has been going on. Hated to hear about the FSU football player too. There for
yeah.
Oh, that's tough. I don't know if you
Old
guys heard
JT.
that.
Yeah.
Old busted leg.
Sure.
Hopefully, like you said, hopefully it's not as bad as it seems like it was. But anyways, so like you said, it's a busy time of year. Thanksgiving is this week. Whoop 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 whoop. I'm not gonna keep playing it, but I do have a couple of questions for you guys. I'll start with this one. What is your favorite? I've already asked Noah this. I asked him this last week. What is, and I'll start with you, Grace. How about this? What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Y'all know that I'm picky and basic. So
We know that it's not pork chops.
it's not.
Definitely
it's
not pork
definitely not. I don't even really like turkey. Did y'all see that post on Facebook? And it was like turkey. It tastes like it ain't drank water when it was alive.
I did
That is
see that,
so
yeah.
funny to me.
Yeah.
Either mac and cheese, but it's got to be like
Or-
certain mac and cheese.
She's
mac
gonna
and
say
cheese.
mac and cheese or mashed potatoes.
No, or brown rice.
Brown
One of
rice is
those.
good. Oh,
You're stepping out of your comfort zone
I
there,
know.
guys.
I just tried brown
She is
rice
learning.
for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Dang, that's
I know.
been missing out.
I know.
really
I
have.
really have been. It
Brown
was
rice
good.
is smacking.
I'm telling
It
you.
was smacking.
Shell
The
macking.
mac and cheese is like Like you need letters of recommendation to make the mac and cheese for Thanksgiving. Like it has to be good.
That's a good point because sometimes you get mac and cheese that's runny,
or
sometimes
dry.
you get it
Sometimes it's too dry.
Don't give me the runny. I can't even think about it. No. No.
All right, Lori, what about you? Favorite Thanksgiving dish?
I like sweet potato. Is it souffle?
Yeah, sweet potato souffle.
But I don't want marshmallows on it.
Oh man,
that's what's
gotta
one of the
have
best. So
like
Do you put
you want
pecans
some?
on
Hold
it?
on. You want mashed up yams is what you want.
With some
Yams.
crunchy on
the
it.
crunchy
Do
stuff
the
on top
pecans,
is
the
good.
pecans
yeah.
go on that?
It's so good. My
It is really
grandma
good.
makes it that way.
Yeah,
and
she
it's
makes a
just-
good one.
I
So
had
why
some
no
down.
marshmallows? Why are you
It
anti-marshmallow?
just doesn't. I'll eat it. It just doesn't do the same. Don't have the
That's
same
very.
effect.
That's pretty accurate. I kind of agree with that.
Thank you.
How about this? Let's just put it over the top. Sweet potato, pecans, marshmallows. Put all
Okay.
3 in there.
The marshmallows, they're just not. They just don't belong.
Whatever
You know
one
what that just reminded me of, Holden?
of
you know-
s'more.
No.
Oh.
Any of y'all watch Friends?
Yeah.
You know when
R.I.P.
Rachel makes
Rachel
makes
oh,
the
with the
trifle.
beans in
Yeah,
it,
she
yeah.
makes like
Or the
hamburger
beef,
and then
yeah.
it has all the
shepherd's
other
pie
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
bottom of
yeah,
it.
and Joey's like, man, this is awesome.
Meat good.
That was funny. I forgot about
I like it.
What about you?
Mine's all of it.
Oh,
You can't
Okay,
leave
so good
anything
answer.
off. Turkey.
All right, so if you
ham,
had-
green bean casserole, dressing,
So
cranberry
you're making
sauce.
it complicated.
Do you
What
even
would-
like? Do you like
what do
deviled
you
eggs?
not want that comes on Thanksgiving? What is something that, like, there's a dish, somebody's got these marshmallows and green sauce over here that looks like the Grinch made or something off of Dr. Seuss. Is that something you look at? Watergate salad? Isn't that what it
Oh
is?
my
Oh, I
god!
love
You look at it and you're like,
Watergate
no, I
salad.
don't want that. Because I'll eat it. I like it. But
Coconut cake. I'm not a coconut.
yeah, I'm not a real big coconut fan either. Honestly. That's a good
I've
answer.
done got Lori tickled again.
Good answer. Good answer. Good
answer.
answer.
Good
Yeah,
answer.
that's good job.
Good answer. Good answer. All right. So since we're doing that, this is a small game. It's not the big game that we're going to do here in just a little bit, but I've got some this
Wait,
or
what's
that for you
y'all's
guys.
answers?
Well, we did last week. Mine was dressing.
Oh,
Without giblet gravy, it's good. Doesn't matter to me, but dressing.
giblet.
Mine is.
Giblet.
I like the giblet gravy. Mine is mine's my mom's green bean casserole.
Oh, you had
Greens,
first.
beans, tomatoes.
It's specifically.
You had to get specific
It's
in there.
specifically Jeannie's green bean casserole.
Yeah. We were talking about that downstairs.
No one
this
other.
morning.
No one else's.
I
Well,
don't-
she listen. She was saying, she was talking to Noah about it this week. Like, should she make it for this? And Noah's like, no, you got to wait and save that for Thursday because I got to have some of
Oh,
that.
Save it. That's hilarious.
I was like, yeah, me and Noah were talking about that last week. He genuinely enjoys.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
your
It's got
green
like
bean
the
casserole.
it's like fluffy and it's got those French's onions on top.
So how about
Man,
yeah? Anyways, all right. So we got some this or that here. So I'm gonna go around. You guys can chime in however you want. Turkey or ham? Which one you guys go with?
Ham, 100%.
Turkey.
Ham.
turkey.
Everybody. So your turkey. I will eat turkey if it's like the leg or if it's got some
Dude,
skin on
ham
it.
is just so overrated.
I love ham though.
Like
Honey
Turkey
baked ham, dude.
turkey's overrated. It has a whole day for itself. No,
Yeah,
ham is superior.
ham is really good. So we're all with most of us are with ham. A little bit of turkey over here. All right, cranberry sauce or gravy? They're not necessarily the same thing,
both.
Gravy.
Both.
Both.
Neither.
I
Either.
knew she was going to say that.
but hamburger. All right, I'm going gravy. I don't like cranberry sauce. To be honest with you,
It just
It looks
watching it come out
nasty.
of the thing. It just
you talking about when it just
yeah.
Shape of the
It
can.
comes out of the can?
It suctions out of the can. That's immediate no for me. Immediate
Looks like
no.
dog food, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh man.
It it, just, it,
Oh,
it carries that same
yeah, and then
shape.
it just jiggles out.
You ever had Jello in a can? Well, there it is.
That just so happens to be my favorite part of cranberry sauce.
When it jiggles out of the
It
can?
pops out of the can. It's like, man, it's time to eat some cranberry sauce now.
I never understood this though. Like it'd come out in a can, somebody turn it sideways. Let me slice it up real quick.
That was my first Thanksgiving job. When I was younger and like they would let me help in the kitchen, I was only allowed to cut the cranberry sauce.
Automatically just scarred for life.
Yeah, that was it. That was
You
it. I
know,
was done for.
my grandparents were smart. The only thing they let me be in charge of was putting ice in the cups.
Yeah, I'm still with that.
Go over there, put ice in the cups. To this day, if I went there, I'd be putting ice in the cups. That's it.
And
so
that's it.
pretty-
I really don't want any more responsibilities. You know, like leave me with that.
Yeah, adulting is hard. Anyways, all right. Dressing with or without the giblet gravy?
With
With.
Neither.
No dressing
Oh
for
my
me.
goodness, that's the best part. Go home, Grace.
I'm
just kidding.
sorry.
All right, mac and cheese or hash brown casserole. This is where it gets a little bit tough.
Hash brown casserole.
Ooh, even over the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all already know it's mac and cheese.
Some mac and cheese.
Yeah, I'm mac and cheese. I'm
You're
not
mac and cheese
casserole.
too.
Mac and cheese, another one of those things. It's a little overrated to me.
Well, that's me. Like I can have mac and cheese any day of the week.
Yeah.
But Thanksgiving, come on, we don't have to add it to it. Now
We got
people
to.
make good mac and cheese. Evidently, you gotta have a letter of recommendation to be able to do that. But
You do.
like I can get that any day of the week. I don't have to have it.
You
on
can okay,
Thanksgiving.
but like the thing is, you can have any of these foods any day of the week. You just gotta make them.
No.
You
I mean,
but you can.
No, but we had this conversation. Why is it this way? Why do we only do this? Like, I can't cook turkey in February and it be normal.
You
Somebody
can.
be like, why are you doing this?
Somebody cooked a
yeah, I know.
cooked a turkey.
You
Somebody cooked a turkey the other day.
guys are figuring this mic situation out over here.
We are.
We're becoming pros.
Coming pros. They're getting better. All right, on to the next one. Green bean casserole or broccoli casserole?
Oh, green bean casserole.
Green bean.
Can I just have like the green beans? Like I don't want it in a casserole.
Why is she always finding some way to make it where it's like, all right, either neither or
Because
yeah.
I am picky.
So you just want some green
In
beans
other
out
words,
of a can.
Yeah.
you eat like a 10-year-old.
Like a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, it's the Grace Snipes.
I literally
Thanksgiving.
had the appetite of a 12-year-old.
Let me get some chicken nuggets and mac and cheese.
Like,
Homie, I'm
just
good.
give me a Lunchable and a Capri Suns. I'm good to go. Good to go.
Don't let them touch.
I used to go.
No, do not. I need
that's
the,
another one.
I need the plate separator.
Plate dividers.
You
Like,
need
even-
some Zoo Pals.
I loved the Zoop House. Don't play, and they're re-releasing them, so don't even play. I'll bring them up
Sippy
here.
cup.
I know exactly what you used to do at the Mexican restaurant: chicken fingers and French fries.
No, I have actually always eaten a chicken and cheese quesadilla at the Mexican restaurant.
Dude,
Wow.
I saw at Mama Rita's one time we took the youth out. Somebody got chicken fingers and French fries. I was like, "What are y'all doing?" But they had them put the queso on top. I was like, "Oh, I'm about to get
That
that."
didn't come to play.
It looked good. All right, mashed potatoes or sweet potato souffle,
Sweet.
with or
potatoes.
without the marshmallows.
Sweet potato souffle.
All right,
Mashed
Grace.
potatoes.
Oh my goodness, she gave an
I
answer.
know. I gave an answer.
All right.
I love potatoes in any form.
Gramps is dying. This is a tough one for me. I love mashed potatoes, but I also love the sweet potato souffle. But kind of like mac and cheese, you can get mashed potatoes anytime. So I'm going sweet potato.
And
Yeah,
you can get
both of
okay.
them.
You
I
just
mean,
gotta.
just
You're killing me
pile
with
it
that
on.
because you can do
Both of them side by side.
both of them. I want both of them.
Matter of fact, stir them together.
Potato.
Potato. All right, peas or butter beans? We're really
kind of
like giving
peas?
ourselves like the little
Butter
tiny
beans.
English peas.
Oh, I love those English peas.
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 Yeah. I'm not a big butter. bean
Gramps is
fan.
like, give me either one. I like the peas too myself. All right, rolls or cornbread?
Both. Definitely both.
This is where somebody listening to this in New York's like, what are they talking about
What
right
is
now?
cornbread?
What's cornbread? Or what'd you go with? Cornbread or rolls?
Rolls.
I'm the same. I like rolls. I like cornbread. I like Jiffy cornbread.
Yeah,
Like the
Jiffy
sweet
is good.
cornbread.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I'm hungry.
Is dressing
Cornbread with butter.
is dressing
that's
and
good.
stuffing the same thing?
Yeah.
Or is that
It's the same thing, right?
They're different, I think.
Kristen was saying my friend Kristen was
I thought
saying
they were
these
the
are
same thing.
different.
She's the one that told me they were different.
Kristen is. She
Yeah.
said one of them is made with cornbread and one of them is made.
Well, the stuffing is
Yeah,
what
she
you put
gave
in
me
the turkey,
spill the
right?
other day.
No, I think
No.
you just stuff a turkey.
Oh, that makes sense. So what's the difference in stuffing and turkey?
They have like the
Stuffing and dressing.
they have like dressing, but like you've got the
Okay.
box stuffing that some can do. I don't
Dressing-
Like
like
out of
it as well.
Stouffer's?
Yeah.
So
Are you
when my-
Googling it for us, Lord?
When
Thank
my
you.
mom makes dressing, she puts cornbread in it. But I think stuffing is something else.
No. Stuffing, you put cornbread. in. Dressing doesn't have cornbread. I don't know what it is. Is it cornbread technically?
Stuffing. It's called
just call it
stuffing.
breading.
Regardless of the ingredients or whether it's not, it's cooked inside the turkey. So you can put stuffing inside the turkey.
That's what I thought. All right. Tell us this in your best like Siri voice of what you're reading from Google right now. Doo-doo.
The primary difference between stuffing and dressing is it?
That was so
That's
good.
so.
That was
Was
so
it good?
funny.
Yeah,
Yes.
Did I
still
get there?
it still didn't really answer my question.
Okay,
though.
I was getting there. I
That was
just
my
got
bad.
caught up. The primary difference between between stuffing and dressing is that stuffing is cooked inside a bird and dressing is made on the side.
Boom. So they're not the same.
We do the
That
dressing
is
in
from
my
the
house.
Food
too.
Network.
Be honest with you, I don't know
Rachel
if I've ever
Ray.
had stress. Had
Straight from Rachel
dressing
Ray.
now.
Dressing.
I'm stressing about it. I don't know. All right, let's move on. All right, let's get into some of the sweets. Pecan pie or pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin.
Pecan. My grandma makes
well,
pecan
honestly,
pies. They're
both,
so
but
good.
pumpkin pie
They're
on
both really
Thanksgiving.
good.
Guess if I had to do one, it would be pecan pie.
Pecan to me is a Christmas thing.
Pecan is good
or
anytime.
pecan?
It's either one.
That's what I was just
I
about to
came
ask.
from Alabama and it was pecan.
All of us say pecan.
But then I moved across the river and it became pecan.
My dad, like when he's asking for like pecans, he'll say pecan. But then like when he wants the pie, it's pecan pie.
Okay, I'm going pumpkin.
Isn't that so weird?
Yeah, it is weird. I'm going pumpkin though.
I know,
I'm
it's
like
a
you.
shame.
Right now, pumpkin pie, get closer to Christmas, which I'll eat the other anytime.
Yeah.
But it feels like you can only get pumpkin pie at the end of the year. Like you don't see it on the shelves in June. Am I wrong about that?
Maybe you're just not looking in the right
Never
spot.
really looked.
They might just
Maybe
bring it
that's it.
forward, you know?
All right, red velvet cake or chocolate cake?
Chocolate.
Oh, red velvet.
Red velvet.
Chocolate.
Red velvet.
This
red
is
velvet.
perfectly like
And
off.
no cocoa.
No
No
cocoa.
No cocoa in the red
on
velvet.
the red velvet. I do like red velvet.
No
Time
cocoa.
out. Time out. What is the cocoa all about?
You know,
on
some
that?
people put like cocoa in their red velvet cakes,
Oh, I never heard of that.
but in a lot of times those red velvet cakes are like darker.
Mhm.
But and the ones that have like a real vibrant red color, that's a big word for Elmo. Those are the best ones. No cocoa.
So can you tell the difference in the taste, or
Yes.
is it just you're
Yes.
looking at it?
You can
this is
absolutely-
dark.
definitely
It's got
tell the
cocoa
difference
in
in
it.
the
Like you can
taste.
absolutely tell the difference in the taste. My aunt makes it with no cocoa. It's the best red velvet
No
cake I've
cocoa.
ever had in my life.
It's pretty interesting.
Cocoa and cocoa.
I never knew that there was cocoa or the potential of there being cocoa.
Thanksgiving and Christmas are my favorite because my granny makes the 13-layer chocolate cake.
Oh man,
That's why
Lord.
I knew that there were people that make
It's
chocolate
so
cake and
good.
caramel cake. People make caramel cake too at this time of year. All right, so I've asked Noah. Noah said it. He's got his Christmas decorations up. What about you guys? Y'all got y'all's up?
We're putting ours up tonight.
Tonight, okay. We did that last Sunday. Last time we talked, I went home. We put up the tree, got the lights going, 4 ornaments on it, and then the next day, put 15 more, and then the next day, put 15 more. So
That's
after
so
3 days,
efficient,
we got
though.
it all done, and now the tree's up. And I went to Walmart yesterday because Hudson has a little tree in his room. Because you got to, right? You got to give your kid a
gotta
little
have
tree
it,
in the room.
yeah.
It's awesome, right? Light it up. That's a new night light. Anyway, so I go buy him a new one because his old one was not any good anymore. Get home, plug it up. What do you think happened?
It didn't work.
The lights, half of them lit up. Half of the tree was lit up,
Uh-uh.
and the other half was not. So that was a brand new purchase going down the drain. Anyways, had to go buy some
Did
new
you
lights.
take it back? You should have taken it back.
Well, I mean, it's just lights, you know.
I know, but still.
It's more stressful having to take it back and try to get another one. What about you, Grace? Did you say you did or didn't get?
No. Hopefully, my mom's off this week because she works at school. So hopefully they're gonna go up this week.
Yeah.
Because I'll be home too.
After Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving night or Friday or the week over the weekend?
Probably Friday.
Probably Friday. That's not bad. I guess that's when most people
Because
do.
Thanksgiving Day, I will be at parents eating, sleeping, enjoying Thanksgiving.
You sound like the Grinch over here too, but you're not.
That's it. I'm not going.
I gave Noah a lot of flack for the same thing, but it's okay because now Noah's got his tree up. He just needs some lights. All right, you guys want to play a game?
sure.
We're gonna go with a Christmassy game. If you guys are a game on that,
Y'all have
I
fun.
know it's not Thanksgiving yet, but you know, Christmas is right around the corner. If you're cool with the game, I've got a game.
All these
built for you
games y'all
guys to
play, I'm past the age. They play them in the car all the time on youth trips. I never win, so y'all
Oh,
might
you-
as well leave me out.
You can do them. All right, this is going to be Guess That Christmas Movie, okay? And it's all based off of scenes from a movie. Scenes from a movie. Everybody got your phone where you can type it in?
Ready.
That way you don't take it from somebody else. Come on, Gramps. I got a couple in here I feel like you can get.
Me and Lori's playing as one.
Y'all are playing as one? That's okay. That's okay. Help each other out. All right, here's the first one. Here we go.
What?
Dude, I knew it by the score.
Yeah.
I could tell it by the music.
I did
Oh.
too.
Really? So does everybody have that one pretty easily? Y'all shouted out 1, 2, 3.
Home
Home
Alone.
Alone.
Great job, guys. Which one?
1, 2,
One.
2,
One
2.
Two.
In the airport.
in the airport, but I don't remember. It is one.
That's
Kevin-
that's 2. The
Kevin's
the
not
first
here.
one's in the airplane.
Kevin's not
Oh,
here.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So
but that
that-
part doesn't matter. So everybody got a point on that one. Pretty easy on that one. All right, on to the next one. This gets a little tougher.
Mrs. Dilber. Merry Christmas.
I was giggling at myself at this, and I'll play it one more time for you guys.
Mrs. Dilber, Merry Christmas.
Just listen to the way Merry Christmas kind of cracked me up. All right, Noah, what you got on this one?
Is that Jim Carrey Christmas Carol?
Christmas Carol?
A Christmas Carol?
I have no idea.
No idea?
Now I'm doubting myself, but I thought it was the Grinch.
I had no idea.
No idea.
No
It
idea.
is indeed.
Mrs.
It is a Christmas Carol.
What'd you guess?
Merry Christmas.
That's definitely Jim Carrey's voice, though.
Yeah. You can kind of hear it after you listen to it and you know what it is. All right, 2 down. Noah, you got 2 points on this one. Next one.
Way over our heads here.
If anybody can do this, it's you, number one.
What? I'm not gonna lie to all the elves.
Sometimes you just got to listen to their voice and see if you can tell who it is.
Do it again.
All right.
Way over our heads here.
If anybody can do this, it's you, number one.
What? I'm not gonna lie to all the elves.
All right, Noah, what you got over there?
Is that Scott Calvin, the Santa Claus?
Scott Calvin.
It's just Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus. All right, everybody with a point on that one. You guys did a good job. I'm marking you down with Lori when you guys get your point. I should have just put y'all's letters together instead of separated like I did. All right, trying to figure out which one.
We're both playing, but I mean.
All right, here we go to the tougher side.
Have you seen my wife?
Merry Christmas, Daddy!
Kids!
Kids! One more time for you. Here you go.
Have you seen my wife?
Merry Christmas, Daddy!
Kids! Hey!
Gramps, I'm going to start on your side this time.
I'm saying the Miracle on 34th Street.
Miracle on 34th Street.
30 what?
34th
Do you,
Street.
do you agree with him,
34th.
Lori? You agree with him? Okay.
No idea.
No idea.
I'm going to guess A Wonderful Life.
A Wonderful Life. It is indeed. It's a Wonderful Life. Noah with another point. Gramps, I pinned that one straight up just for you on this one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
When did
It
that-
didn't go quite far
When did that
enough
movie
back.
come out?
I don't know. I didn't
don't
look at the
know.
dates of it. All right, here
It
we
was
go.
before I was born.
Next one.
No, I want an official red undercover knife and 200 jet by Lee rifle.
Was that English?
I said the same. I played this. I was like, what did he just say? It took me like 4 times to slow it down to
I can
understand
see
what he said.
I can see the scene in the movie.
No, I want an official red undercover knife and 200 jet by Lee rifle.
All right. What you got, Noah?
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story.
It sounded like Charlie Brown. I have no idea.
Charlie Brown.
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas
You'll
Story.
shoot your
and
eye
it
out,
is
kid.
indeed a Christmas Story. So Noah, I got y'all. I need y'all's letters side by side, but I didn't put y'all's letters side by side. But y'all both get a point. Right now, Grace has 2. Lori and Gramps have 3. Noah's got 5.
I'm
Noah's
slacking.
running away with it.
Noah always wins. I think it's rigged with the
I think it's
host.
rigged. All right, here we go to the next one.
Now then, what's your name?
Susan Elizabeth Walker. What's yours?
Mine. Well, I have lots of...
Want it one more time? One more time? Here we go.
Now then, what's your name?
Susan Elizabeth Walker. What's yours?
Mine. Well, I have lots of...
All right, Noah, what you got over there?
Is that Miracle on 34th Street?
30 what street?
34th.
34th. All right, Grace.
Miracle on 34th Street.
We might as well
No
go
idea.
with
No idea.
Miracle on 34th
Miracle on
Street.
34th Street. Did you type it in?
It's the 4th
Yes,
Street.
it is.
Yes, it's still in there from the last time we entered it.
All right, so I want to give everybody
Full
a point
house.
on that one.
Full house.
Full house, full house, full house. When in doubt, full house. All right, next one. Here we go. Listen to the voices. That's gonna be your hint before this one. Here we go.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Grown up big. Now, do you remember that letter you sent me about dreaming of being a fashion designer? She used to always...
Do it again.
More time.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Grown up big. Now, do you remember that letter you sent me about dreaming of being a fashion designer? She used to always...
I'm stumped.
Stumped on that one.
I'm gonna guess.
Okay.
Is it Elf?
Elf. Grace.
It still sounds like Scott Calvin, but I know that's not him.
You can
don't
put
know.
it if that's what you
I'm
want.
just gonna go with that one. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with the Santa Claus.
Oh, okay.
We're going with the Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus. That one is
Yeah, you know what I mean. Grown up big. Now, do you remember that letter
Christmas
you sent me
Chronicles.
about dreaming...
It's Kurt Russell. That's
Yeah.
Kurt Russell's voice.
Yeah, there you go. It's a little bit tougher, but that's why I said
I've never seen that
listen to the voice to
Those are
see if
pretty
you can-
good. Those are pretty good movies.
Yeah. All right, next one. Here we go.
Whatever you
your brother, says Arthur. It's the same old world.
Sounds like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins.
I think I'm the only one who would probably get this one more time.
Whatever your brother, says Arthur. It's the same old world.
All right, Noah, what you got?
Is that Arthur Christmas?
Arthur Christmas. Grace?
No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
No idea. It is Arthur Christmas. Noah with another point on that one. Good job. You guys feeling good about it? I've got 3 more for you. How about that?
I'm doing great.
What?
I'm doing great.
Oh, okay. Grace is doing great, guys. Here we go. Next one. Y'all ready? Here we go. I'll give you another hint. Listen to the voice right there at the end. Listen to the voice. Here we go. Did you hear the voice at the end? That's it. That's it. Anybody get the voice? All right, what you got now?
I'm gonna. No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
No idea. No idea.
I don't have any idea.
You got the voice though. He got 2.
Can we get a point for that?
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is that Jingle All the Way?
It's Jingle All the Way. That's what it was.
That's a good movie.
It's the scene where the mailman gets the toy.
Yeah.
Or the 2 balls or whatever. When
Turbo
they did the
Man.
drop. Yeah. Turbo Man. That was it. Jingle All the Way. No points on that one. All right. Here we go.
Go on. Go on with what? Well, are you going to sing a song or something, or can I just go back to work? A song?
Song?
It's a little bit tough, but I think you can hear the voice. What you got?
Elf.
Elf?
Elf.
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 Elf. Everybody with a point. Doop, 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 doop.
Elf on a Shelf.
And last, but certainly not least, here we go.
Important celebration.
And the book of Who says very clearly, every size of
Noah looks stumped on this one. All right, one more time. Here we go.
Important celebration.
And the book of Who says very clearly,
Noah, what?
Noah, I'm gonna start on the other side of it here. All right.
No, start with Noah.
Okay, Noah, what you got?
I got nothing.
Nothing.
Noah.
Grace.
The Book of Who?
It's the Grinch.
Absolutely, it's the Grinch.
It is the Grinch.
Important celebration.
and the book of Who says very clearly,
I can hear it now.
every size of
So we got Lori and Gramps got 6. Grace got 5. Noah got 8.
Nice.
So Noah wins yet again another game. Gramps believes that this thing is rigged just because.
Come on now, Gramps.
I told Noah, I was like, I almost asked him one time, will you give my eyes, Trenton? He said, I almost asked him to give me ideas for some, but I was like, if you give me ideas, you cannot play the game.
I was like, nah.
I have to make it up all by myself. So that way you get to at least play. All right. Did you guys enjoy the game?
That was
Fun
so
enough?
fun.
Fun enough. What are y'all's favorite Christmas songs?
I have been listening to Christmas songs all weekend long. My favorite is "Oh Come All Ye Faithful." That's such a good one. And "Hark."
That's a good one.
Hark the Herald. Hark the Herald.
Yep.
That one's a good one. And "Drummer Boy."
Okay. All right. So your favorite song is 3 songs.
Justin Bieber version.
Sorry, I have so many.
It's kind of like, all right, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Well, there's this one and there's this one and this, but not these two. I don't want either of those.
I do not have like favorite anything. It's like favorite songs. I have like 15 favorite songs.
Yeah, I get that. There's a lot of Christmas songs out there too. What about you?
I think mine's probably, I know I said it last time, but the Christmas song.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It is a good one.
Nat King Cole.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sound of the throwback songs like that. No offense.
I mean, like Grace, there's just so many of them that's around at Christmas that you just enjoy. Rocking around the Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah.
They just like make me feel
Rocking
good.
around.
Oh,
Christmas.
get it. They just like make you feel good.
It makes you feel good. What about you, Lori? Anything Taylor Swift?
Yeah, I
Taylor
think
Swift
it after
album?
Thanksgiving.
Christmas Tree Farm.
Christmas
We
tree farm.
got
I
to
was
get
literally
to
going
it.
to say that a minute ago, but I was like, let me not be cheesy, you know?
You can say
Mistletoe
whatever.
by Justin Bieber.
Notice how nobody says Mariah
That's
Carey.
me.
All I Want for Christmas Is
No,
You.
me and Lori have
we're
PTSD
scarred.
from that.
That song is scarred us.
That
heard-
Y'all want me to do the dance right now?
We
We'll do the
did that
dance.
song in the parade in Camilla as dancers every year we were in middle and high school.
Really?
Yes. Same dance. Like exact same dance.
Every year.
I heard it for the first time this weekend. Like, as long as I'm sure it's already been playing for a month now.
First time ever?
No, like the first time this season.
I was about to say, how have you lived like your whole life and never heard that song?
It's been going already for a while now, but I hadn't heard it until just now, this weekend.
If it comes up on the Spotify, I wouldn't like skip it immediately.
I try to stay away.
All right, last Christmas question. Lights, do they go on the house or not?
I mean, I've done both, so.
Yeah.
You're going to put the effort for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but somebody else can do it.
That's kind of my same philosophy.
It's a safety hazard if I get on the roof. So.
See, you're only in charge of putting ice in the cups from now on.
Yeah, I'm a safety hazard anywhere
I did
else.
One of the houses I lived in for a while, but then I got tired of getting up on the house in the freezing cold weather to
click, click, click.
And then you're talking about the Christmas tree going half out. If they start going out, I'm just like, I'm done.
Really?
No, it's too hard to get back up
Dude,
and fix that.
I went through an entire strand of lights that went out, an entire strand changing every bulb, and it didn't fix it. Like,
no.
I took the time. I was like, I'm doing this. I'm sitting here. I'm doing this, and it didn't fix anything. Then I threw it away. I was like, that was 30 minutes of my life that were completely wasted there.
My perfect Christmas season would be if I could decorate like however I wanted to, but somebody else would take it down for me. I hate taking down the Christmas decorations.
I guess that makes sense. I
love
putting
it up.
I love
That's why I love working with youth, because we're always gone the week after Christmas, and when I get back home, they're already down.
Oh, that is pretty smart. I don't have that. It's just I'm
putting
it up,
and then you go off with the youth and have to come home and take your tree down in January.
Yeah, you're not going to take yours down until like the end of January or middle, because y'all get back and turn right back around. That's crazy.
Yeah, mine will be up halfway through December.
Holden can come to your house while we're gone and take it down for you.
Yeah. I will also leave paper, like not toilet paper, but newspaper all around your. You missed out on all the good news. They did that for Taylor and I when we got married. We come back from our honeymoon. I'm not kidding you. The entire house has newspapers everywhere inside of it, covering everything.
That is so cute,
everything.
That's a cute idea, though.
I mean, I guess. So, anyways, I love going.
I'll take them down in January. Thank you.
Yeah, I love going and looking at Christmas lights on other people's houses, because I'm like y'all. I'm like, man, that looks cool. Glad I ain't got to take it down though. Like, there's one somewhere that's pretty close by that they have like millions of lights. Like, they're known.
Is it in Havana? Don't go to that one. It was so bad.
I don't know. All right, you guys have hit.
I know where there's 75 acres with lights.
The football field.
Don't let him talk you into going to see those lights.
Listen, we have piled in my family's car. Like, we were
to go see these lights that he's speaking of.
Me, my sister, one of Carly's friends, Noah, Gramps, my parents. We get out there to these acres of lights, and it was just a little field with a few lights. Wait,
where was that at? Because I think my family went to
Havana.
It was horrible.
Was it in Havana?
Well, I still say it was
Havana.
I still say it was misadvertisement. The when we saw the notice of it, and I told them, I said, I'm going to ride down and check this out. Y'all want to go? And they said yes. It said 75 acres of lights. When we got there, it was 75 acres with a few lights.
What in the world?
Yeah, it was pretty.
So you were
bad.
thinking the whole 75 acres.
Drive down there too. Like, it was a long drive.
That's what they advertised.
We were like packed in the car. The car was full. We were headed down there to see some Christmas lights. It was so bad.
The one I felt really bad for was Lori's dad, Randy, because he had to do all the driving. But we did wind up in Tallahassee at Longhorn Steakhouse for a nice evening of eating out.
I was there, and I definitely enjoyed the Longhorns meal. But I'm just kind of putting this together. You asked them to go with you, and then made Mr. Randy drive.
No, he's going to drive when we go. So anyway, I just said I'm going to. I said I saw this advertisement. I thought it would be fun. I'll check it out. They said we'll go with you. Next, they told me if I ever see anything like that again, they said we'll let you go check it out, and then we'll come with you.
Mr. Randy seems like he really gets the short end of the stick on these deals.
He loves it. Don't let us fool you. He loves carting us around everywhere.
Well, he must love building in here too.
But we got we drove, and it was in the middle of nowhere out there, and I guess you'd call the boondocks.
Yeah.
But we did get a good laugh. We laughed from there all the way to Longhorns and all the way back to the house about that. And as you see a minute ago, as soon as y'all said something about lights, Lori looked straight at me because we still remember.
I know y'all both started laughing. So was it at least like a place that you can drive through for free?
No, it was a fenced-in yard.
You had to pay. Did you have to pay or no?
No, you just drove by it. But I mean, when you got there, it was 75 acres. It was this farmland. I mean, you could see the 75 acres, but it wasn't of lights. It was 75 acres.
There's a cow out in the pasture with a wreath on it.
No, with the
Did y'all have to like
around
wait
it
in
with
line?
lights on it, and
we didn't go
maybe
to the same place then.
Literally,
Christmas tree or something.
It was
standing
something
up in
you
it.
would have passed on the highway and been like, "Oh, look at those couple lights."
Maybe
and
y'all
you
went
just
to the
kept on
wrong
running.
place.
It was not an attraction. Like, it wasn't something you would drive through or anything. Like, you drove back
That
and
was what I
we
was
all
wondering.
like stopped the car and we were like,
Time out.
was
time
this
out.
it?
Maybe y'all went to the wrong place.
Somebody told y'all about a 75-acre farm out in the
it
middle
was
of
like-
nowhere
where
on the
did
way to
you see this
Tallahassee, and
at?
y'all
It was
got the
like a
idea.
Facebook-
I'm getting on the road. I'm driving to go see this random farm that's 2 hours away.
No, it was like a Facebook post, and I mean they did. I mean the
like, who
people
posted
that did it. I don't know that now. I mean it was
It's got to
somebody
be
we
like
had seen, but
it's
it
probably
was,
somebody from Temu.
But it
or
was something that I mean they did so good on the advertisement. You thought I got to go check this out. This is going to be awesome. And you get there and you go. Somebody's probably sitting in the house on that 75 acres, just watching cars go by, going,
I'll tell you exactly what happened. That was meant to be locally for people who live 10 minutes away to come and check out. And somehow
like a
it
bet.
blew up into something big, and they're sitting there going, huh.
It was probably
This got a little bigger than we thought it
somebody
should.
with Longhorns in Tallahassee, because that's the next place you stop on the way out.
That's the next closest place. They have a sign as you pull out, please go visit Longhorns, 5% off for coming. Pick up like a coupon or something. Coupon. Thank you for filling that gap of me trying to drink some water there, Grace.
Of course, I've never seen the advertisement again. I don't even know if I could remember how to get there. I'll go check it out this year.
Couldn't imagine why you didn't see another advertisement. They probably said, hey, share this locally, not with the entire state of Georgia, because I got people from North Georgia driving 4 hours to come and look at a cow with a wreath hanging from its neck out there.
If he happens to be by the fence.
What a mess. What a mess. All right, I got something new for you guys. Now, live from the podcast studio, Noah's Random Minute.
It's great to be back in the podcast studio today, and guys, random minute, right?
Random minute.
So totally random. So I was reading some random facts today because I knew this was coming up, and I was like, I was trying to brainstorm like what kind of random stuff I could talk about. Well, I Googled random facts, and I found one that's pretty interesting to me that you probably would have never realized.
Okay.
But did you know that Australia is wider than the moon?
Are you for real?
Yes.
I knew that.
Australia?
The continent of Australia is wider than the moon.
Who measured this?
Whiter? Like
Wider.
white?
Wide.
Oh,
wide. Like
wider,
deep and wide. Deep and wide.
Okay,
wide.
okay.
Wide.
I was
No,
like, how
not
does
water, wider.
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 Sounds like Wally saying water. Anyway, sorry.
So the moon sits at 3,400 kilometers in diameter, while Australia's diameter from east to west is almost 4,000.
That's is it? Maybe I'm wrong about this. Is it Australia that technically on a map like looks a certain size, but in real life it's actually much bigger, and they have to shrink it down on a map to make it fit?
Isn't that like everybody? Like the whole world?
No. I mean, like the continent.
Yes, the United States is very much smaller on the map than it is in reality.
I'm done with y'all. This is supposed to be Christmas.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
No, so no. What I mean is,
We
the
fit on
continent.
that little dot.
Oh my goodness.
We fit on that little dot right there.
So, anyways, America, in correspondence to the other continents around the country, are pretty accurate as far as their sizing. But I think it's Australia that is actually much larger, but they shrinked it smaller than the other ones. And
I think
made
that
it
you
on the
have
map
false
like that.
news. I think that
Who says so?
not true.
No, there's no false news on Noah's Random Minute.
No.
That's right.
I mean Holden.
Well, I mean,
Holden's
think about the
false
moon.
news.
All right, so think about Earth. So here's Earth.
There's
Now
Earth.
think about the moon.
There's the moon.
Well, Australia, it's
There's
got to be pretty
Australia.
doggone big, to
Hope Australia doesn't get between the Earth and the Moon, or we won't be able to see it.
All right. One more thing.
All right.
So this is another random fact for you guys. Did you know that the heart of a shrimp is located in its head?
Really?
And my sister, she had a baby.
So I have a question. What do you think with, your head or your heart?
If it's like Gramps, both.
Yeah, or like Grace, neither.
Both of them.
Both of them. Don't think about either. That's a pretty good random minute. Thank you, Noah, for the random minute.
Absolutely.
You guys don't seem as impressed with the random minute as I do, because that was nuts. Australia is much larger. Please Google that while you're Googling over there.
Unless it's shrunk down on a map.
No, not the map part of it. Anyway, so do you guys know why scuba divers, why they like fall backwards into the water instead of forward?
Because the water would get in their nose.
No, because if they fell forward, they'd still be in the boat. Hey, that's a given. Early dad joke for you. Here you go.
We fixing to raise the meter, the meter, the meter, the meter, the meter, the meter, the meter to Aquafina. I need her, I need her, I need her, I need her, I need her.
All right, so we're raising the meter today. All we're doing is just giving thanks. We're giving thanks for everything that we've been able to do, everything we've been able to talk about, all the people, all the things, everything. Gramps, I'm gonna let you start. We're just here to be thankful this week on the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we did this because I had mentioned it to you too, wanted to, and just thinking about the upstairs, our youth group. I just have been very thankful this year for God's blessings on it. I know Noah can relate to some, and Lori can, and then you and Grace coming in a little later with us can. Some of the things that we're having, but we had Walt stop by a few weeks ago, and so for me to get to mine, we have to start back when I came here, and it was just 45, going back into youth ministry, already white-haired. We hadn't been to Fuge Camp for Noah and Walt to call me Gramps yet, and that to stick, but I just remember those first few days of being here, and we were excited and wanted to be here, but then at the same time I thought, what are we doing? This is never going to work. You know, we're never going to make this happen. And y'all already cut up tonight because I say idea. I hear that one, and it's idea.
Yeah.
Fourth, I don't understand. I say it sounds normal to me. But when we started this and I was here, I would say those things, and they'd just bust out laughing. I was like, what are y'all laughing at? And at that time, they wouldn't tell me. You know, they're just laughing. And I'm like, this is never going to work. This is horrible. Trying to do lessons, I didn't really feel like they were going that well. It was a year before we went to, about a year and a half before we went to that first Fuge trip. Took Noah and Walt. We were the talk of Houston Baptist University Fuge Camp because we showed up with, they asked me, hey, glad you're here. How many you got? I said, 2.
Oh,
and everybody near about freaked out. What? 2? There's just 3 of y'all?
Yeah.
And so all the week long, it was like, oh, y'all are First Baptist. Y'all brought 3. It's like, yes, we come for, we take anybody, and anybody wants to go, we'll go.
Yeah, I didn't realize there wasn't but 3. How many years ago was that now?
That was
26 years ago. 5.
I thought it was like 26 years ago.
Y'all weren't even alive
2019? That's right, yeah, because it was the summer after I graduated high school.
Well,
so
I
it was
started in 2017, and we went in 2018.
Yeah,
They
2018.
a year and a half. But anyway, we went through New Orleans on the way out, ate some good old Cajun.
Oh, that jambalaya was so good.
Wait, where was that Fuge at?
Houston Baptist.
Houston, Texas, yeah.
You know, and then,
that's when y'all went to the Astros game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so we ended the week with that, a long trip home. But that's when, you know, there were people there older than me, but I was the only one with white hair. And that's when these 2 came up with the idea to call me Gramps. And
it stuck.
Kind of bucked it. But when we got home, it was kind of in place. And I think that was one of the first things God did to change it to where I wasn't the typical young youth leader. It was going to be Gramps.
Yeah.
But with Walt visiting a few weeks ago, y'all, everybody in here knows Walt. Walt, I don't know how you describe Walt. We love him.
Walt is Walt.
Walt is Walt.
He's just he is. So he was, but he's very honest too. He'll just tell you what he's thinking. Sometimes too honest.
He really will.
But anyway, sometimes I had to tell him what I did not need to know that. But anyway, he, you know, he would be probably the one that's like, this ain't never going to work. You're too old or whatever, you know. And he may have been cutting up. He may have been serious. But when he was back a few weeks ago, I asked him, I said, Walt, did you ever think when I came here that this was going to turn out to be what it is? You know, the growth, y'all coming back and from college and still being here working and helping. And, you know, in his honesty, he said, nope. And I laughed and he got tickled because I said, me either. I did not think this was going to be where it's at. And now looking at our youth room opened up, remodeled down there, as we said today, it's just God.
God did.
Is the only answer to what's happened.
Yeah.
And then, of course, all of y'all coming back. And then Lori was with me a few years ago when I guess I would consider the second big turn in it, when we wound up at Fuge together and just started asking the kids to ask us anything they wanted to. And it just kind of took another kick to the accelerator, I guess, as you could say it, and we've been moving on. And so I'm thankful for y'all. I'm thankful for your input here, helping out with these kids. I think that makes a big difference. Thankful to God for all of it. I mean, it's just, I never in my life would have thought, I would have thought I could do some youth ministry and we could still have something. But I'm just thanking God, because I don't know why I'm blessed to be a part of what's happening right now. And I never could have seen it happening. And so that's got to be a God thing. So that's why I partly wanted to do this, is just say it's just, he's amazing.
That's
and
right.
How this is doing what it's doing and keeps growing is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Amen.
Absolutely. Grace, if you want to talk for just a minute, I know you said you might have to go. You're good on that? Okay, Lori? You want to add to that?
Yeah, I can. I think it's wild. I just think if we're like reminiscing and being happy about it. When I started, we only had like 6 people, and it was Noah, and then we're graduated. It was me, and I don't think I've ever shared this on here before, but I'm not actually from First Baptist Camilla. My best friend Camilla actually went to church here and just randomly walked up to me on the first week of school and was like, I have a bunch of little girls I really want us to be leaders for if you'll come to church with me. And I was like, sure, I guess. So we came here. We had us. It was like Emma and Caroline and Jada. And my sister started coming to some, and we literally just would pile into Suburban with Gramps. We'd text him on a Friday and be like, come get us. We want to do an escape room. And he'd just show up at the school that afternoon, and we'd hop in the car and head out to do an escape room. And it was just so easy. And now I just like, whenever I came back from college, it was just such a wild experience to walk in the doors and like see how much it has grown. And so, yes, I'm really thankful. I feel like that's all the Lord. When somebody like first talked to me about it, whenever we first started, some advice that I got was like, as long as you're continuing to praise the Lord through what you're doing and giving him thanks for what like is going on up there, like he'll continue to bless that. Yeah. And I've really taken that to heart, because I think sometimes like I can even get into my head of like, what are we doing or what are our kids doing? But really it all is the Lord, and it's really important to stop and be thankful for that. But also, just while we're saying thanks, I think Gramps has been a huge asset to this, and he's helped all of us kind of grow and become leaders in our own way, which has been really awesome. So we're thankful for him. I'm thankful for him through all of our many trips that we've experienced together, good, bad, ugly, all of the above. We've been through it all, so that's been really cool. I feel like he's shaped me into whatever kind of leader the Lord's trying to prepare me to be. And then just the girls, like, you know, the group as a whole is just awesome. But Gramps is right. We sat down that night at Fuge, and we were like, we just really want to do something different, because we had asked them. I said, Gramps, I really want to know where they are. And we asked them to be vulnerable with us. And then I was like, you know, we need to turn it around and let us be vulnerable with them. So we were like, you know, if you have any questions you want us to answer, like, just throw them out. And honestly, sometimes when you do that, you don't really expect much. But they all just started popping off just these really deep life, like, serious questions, and it has really shaped all of us. I think it's opened a door for all of us to kind of become a family in a way that we're vulnerable with each other, which has just really shaped the groups. I'm so thankful for the Lord's leadership in that. And Fuge camps, all of our camps that we do together, like, I'm thankful for them. And then just this, it's always fun to be here. So yeah, I'm just thanking the Lord for all of it.
Yeah, thank the Lord we have Gramps to make sure that if somebody orders pizza at camp, the leaders don't know just to run away with it. I'm going to be honest with you. Think about that story. If I was there with y'all, I don't know if I would have been any help in the moment. Afterwards, I'd have probably...
I mean, I know I haven't been back, and we've kind of put that one to rest, but I still get tickled every time I'm listening to y'all, and they tell and hiding. Why are you hiding? Well, we were afraid we were going to get caught. I'm like, yeah, that was... They thought they saw me looking out the window. I wasn't looking out no window. Guilty consciences.
Yeah. Or there's Wyatt, who just starts telling a story, and Hunter's like, what are you talking about? Grace, you want to add to it?
Absolutely. So I was also not a part of this church when I was in youth. When I moved back from college, Lori actually asked me, after we started working together, if I wanted to come help with the youth. Wanted to come help with the youth. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so it was already pretty big when I got here. And I was so scared, because I was like, I've never worked with, like, youth before. Like I was a whatever it is in like safe sanctuary. Like I just had to be there with the youth in Americus, but I've never had to like work with the kids. I guess so. It was a whole different atmosphere. But I'm so thankful that the Lord's led me here, that I get to build these relationships with the kids and also with the leaders, all of y'all. I feel like I've learned so much about, even Lori, we've grown closer too. But I'm just so thankful for the Lord's leading me through this and just how he's grown me as a servant for him as well.
Yeah, that's good. I think, thinking back to that Houston trip, I mean, that was a really good trip, looking back on it. I mean, even though it was just the three of us, I never really felt like they were hating on us or made us feel any less important, that we were there with only three people. Like, I think they loved that about it.
They were really impressed that we would come with that few.
Right. And so I think we all kind of grew closer. I think me and you did on that trip, Gramps, and I'm thankful for that, and just kind of that impact that a trip like that can have. And looking at even at my college years, like I know there's been a couple times where you would even come up and hang out with us in Statesboro when I was there at Georgia Southern, and I think that's one part of how you've used your ministry to kind of help reach us, and then it helps us feel the importance and the longing to give back and kind of see the impact that it has on the kids that are here today. Because I know like that Houston trip being at the end of my time in the youth group here, growing up in this church, I saw, the youth group was never, to my knowledge, has ever flourished in the way that we have now, praise the Lord. But, it has definitely taken off. And so just seeing all of that come together, it's definitely something to be thankful for. And like Lori was saying, it's almost like this family aspect now. And I think that's one thing that's somewhat attributed to it, is just the willingness to be, open and honest. And sometimes, I know sometimes I come in and we open the door and get excited for youth and all. And I feel like that's kind of an awkward thing to do. Like and sometimes the kids can kind of look at you like, man, what are you doing?
Man, like y'all look at me sometimes.
Like we're crazy. But like just stepping out of our comfort zone in that way and being, I almost call it, for myself, sometimes I almost feel like a goober sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
But like,
I just know that I am.
But, I do it because I love it. I want to see the kids excited and enjoy it. And I want to try to make it as enjoyable for them as it can be, so that all of that leads to them getting to hear and understand and experience the gospel, And I think that's why we do it the way we do it. And I think Christine Kane kind of spoke about it some at Passion whenever she spoke last year, but she talked about just like, and I can't quote it verbatim, but she was just talking about how we have to change the way we do things and sometimes because the world is ever changing. And if we continue to do things the exact same way and, we don't try to draw in some people with interesting and intriguing and exciting things that are still biblical to do, And we have the fun music playing when they come in and stuff, and there's, no harm in that. It's fun. It's the Christian rap music and that type of thing, and it's exciting for them, I think. And so, I don't know. I think it's just all of this that the Lord has kind of helped us to understand and see to do and put in place here in the upstairs has just really kind of helped in that way, if that makes any sense.
Do you have something you wanted to add to that, Grace?
No, not really. Sorry, I was just
Noah
was saying, he was like acting like a goober and stuff, and like I feel like we just do that so we can create a safe space for these kids to like feel like they can act however they
get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, they can do that.
Yeah, me and Grace were talking the other day about this, and she was so right, because at the end of the day, they can look at us like we're weird, and sometimes like we have kids that come through that may not jump in as quick and as easy, and it can make it kind of hard to see. Sometimes I get to wondering, like, why are they here? Like what? But Grace is right. Like, they can sit on the couch and never speak to anybody, but if they hear a word out of the lesson, like, that's the most important thing. And I think that's one thing, like, that I'm so thankful that we do, is we always are able to center, like, ourselves back on the lessons that we give. I feel like they're very biblically based, and there's not many times I've ever stopped and thought, you know, is this something that's too culturally relevant? Like, is it not what we need to be teaching these kids? And, you know, they've also given us a lot of ideas, which has been helpful. So I just really am thankful for that.
Another thing is, like, our kids, like, not a lot of churches, but, like, sometimes, like, we'll have, like, fun nights, and, like, our kids don't want that. Like, they want us to have lessons for them, and, like, that's such an incredible thing for, like, middle schoolers and high schoolers who, like, want a lesson.
When you get done with a fun, like, game night, there's nothing wrong with having a game night, because you have them from time to time, but when you get done with them and one of the students goes, are we going to learn anything tonight? And it's like, well, I mean, you know.
Well, and that is a blessing in the fact that there are some places and some churches, and we could have done that. You build it on all the fun, and you can do several nights. But if we get to where we have 2 or 3 weeks in a row that we're not really teaching a lesson, then our kids are like, man, I'm missing the lesson, which is a big thing. I think back to, like, what Noah was saying too, as with the college stuff, of course, then we also did the Passion, which helped us as y'all with the college students, and staying connected to come back and be the example, and then that led example for others to come. Again, Walt, just going back to him, back to the beginning to understand more why I'm so thankful. I mean, out at Feuds, there was 3 of us, and of course, and I didn't have, like, Lori's been off with me, and it's just been me and her as the adults, and so we got someone to hang with, talk to. That year I didn't have anybody, so, you know, Noah was, of course, always the gracious one. Hey, come on, Gramps, you can hang with us. Yeah. Walt was the one like, what are you doing? You need to go back to the room. And even
can't be with us.
Even some of the friends they met, they were like, Walt, come on, he can hang with us. It's okay.
Yeah.
But it was, but that's just what I'm saying. That's the difference. That's what I expected was more of, and even though Walt didn't probably really mean it, but he did, you know what I mean? He's just that typical teenager that thought this is what they're all going to do. Yeah. And it didn't. And so it's just been amazing how God has, like you said, made us family. So it is Gramps. Of course, they learned quickly that if they would go to a restaurant, if all of them would say, as they walked through the door, hey, Gramps, are we going to Gramps, that they would bring me the check. So it became family.
So what you're learning is that's exactly why me and Walt started the
Smart. But you wouldn't trade it for anything.
But I also say the blessing, and what I was going to come back to at the end was the thankfulness is, like we've said, we've got not expecting the youth group to grow like it did physically, but also spiritually.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me right now, and y'all don't get to see it as often, but you do get to hear about it and see it, but to see them leading in FCA, leading in a chapel service, I wish y'all could be there to hear these kids, and I heard y'all say it on the last podcast. With this having them in here, and I was listening to Maddie and Olivia and Hunter and them, and I'm sitting at home listening to it saying, where did these kids come from?
Yep.
I mean, really, I'm beginning to think, are we teaching them or are they teaching us? I mean, I'm just like,
it's the Miyagi.
But you do, I think y'all said it, you realize, wait a minute, they are listening to us.
Yeah.
They are hearing what we're saying. And where I revert back to, are they teaching us or are we teaching them? But I think they're learning more than we are through it.
Yeah.
And we're giving them a little bit, and then they're coming back and teaching us again.
It's funny that you say that, because this is kind of on my part of it was Grace and I kind of came in like joining the Georgia Bulldogs last year at the good time, where it's already big. Like, it's grown even more since we've gotten here, just since last year. I don't know what the numbers were, but we don't have to count numbers to look and go, hey, if one kid is here, that's all that matters, right? But we kind of got here at the good time, because I didn't grow up at this church. I grew up in Alabama, and we had a big youth group when I was growing up. Well, then when I became the elder in the youth group, the older kids, the younger kids were a lot different. Like, they were a lot younger. And our youth size went from big, really active, always going to do stuff. Our youth leader left, like our youth minister left. The old kids left. And when we became the old ones, everything got really, really small. And there wasn't a lot going on. And we had a new youth minister came in, but he was a good youth minister, but he was a very good music minister, and he ended up being the pastor a few years down the road after I had left, and he was very good at that. But he was really good with adults more than he was kids. Not that he was an issue with kids. He did great with younger kids too. So I kind of, you start to kind of separate from church a little bit. Then you go to college and and for me, that was kind of the last thing I was thinking of until then I moved over here and I started going to church here. And I started kind of learning and meeting new people. I met Noah, when he was young. It's weird looking at pictures and seeing Noah like a kid. And I was like, yeah, I knew Noah when he was a kid. And now he's like grown, working at the bank and, making millions and all that. It's crazy. But anyways,
Well, I don't know about that.
But kind of the same thing, years ago when the youth ministers had left here, Taylor and I had talked about, should we try to help with the youth and stuff? And things didn't work out then. And like you said, it's a God thing because things didn't work out for us to try to do anything then to help. But time kind of rocked along, and I was like, man, I'd love to help with the youth because it was a pivotal point in my life when I was younger, growing up, that is what started the foundation for me. That is when I got saved on a youth trip where we had gone something, which was so important to me. And it's not all about the trips. It's also about what you do inside of these walls as well and what you're learning and how coming into this, seeing like kids listening and stuff. And I was like, okay, they're here. There's a lot of them. They're having fun when we have fun. They're singing when we sing most of the time. But then like we talked about last week, to realize like when we went and did chapel a couple of weeks ago, but then seeing, like you said, the kids who have become leaders. And when they came in here, something that I told Noah, I was like, let's open it up and just see if they want to join us and just talk. And to see the response of kids that were like, yeah, absolutely. And how open they are and how much you realize, and what we talked about last week, they know so much. They're so smart. They pick up on what we're teaching. They go and teach it themselves, but then they also learn and go and teach that. And we might not have even taught them that, because they're doing these chapel services. They're doing this FCA lessons and everything where they're teaching others about other stories that we may or may not have taught them in the past. But I'm like y'all, I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be able to do this, not only this podcast, but be able to help as a leader in the upstairs and in everything else that we get to do too. Because without God, we wouldn't be able to do these things, and it's like Lori said, if it's meant to be, what did you say? Not like if it's meant to be, it'll be, but
I just always had that, like, what's the word? I guess I was pessimistic about it at first because I was like, oh, we have 30-something kids. Like, that's going to drop. It's going to drop. Like, we're hitting a little high point and it's going to go back down. And I think I just was not trusting the Lord with that at all, which at the day, like, I truly believed that we could have 10 truly faithful kids and be just as excited. Yeah. But also, like, I just always heard that, or I started to hear that, if that's what the Lord, if we continue to praise the Lord and thank the Lord for what he's done through the upstairs while also like teaching true biblical lessons, like he will continue to bless that, whether it's through 30 or 10 kids, like it doesn't matter. And I thought that was kind of inspiring.
And I don't, like, Noah is a really good singer. I like to sing in the shower or by myself, but I like to help Noah too. Noah, he's a really good singer, and he lets me stand on the stage and sing with him and play guitar and stuff too. Man. But when I had the opportunity to do the lesson when we did the puzzled series, that's the first lesson I've ever taught in front of people. Like back in high school, we had like Come to the Flag, and then we would have Bible studies, and I led one of those, but it wasn't the same as this. And I was more nervous doing that than anything, and so much of it was because I wanted it to be right, like biblically factual, correct information that I'm telling that they have to, then listen to and you hope pick up on, and they do. But I never want to be in a place where we're not teaching what should be taught and not teaching something that's false, because that was one of the things I can't remember what it was that we were reading through, but it was like, don't be a false teacher. And that's the last thing that we want to do, So I'm so thankful for, we think about the nervousness as a bad thing, and it's not. It's a good thing.
Well, again,
if you're not nervous, it doesn't matter to you,
Just giving thanks is, I guess, a different Thanksgiving for me, but giving thanks for, like I said, the opportunity God's given us to be on this ride. He didn't have to choose us, but it kind of goes back to like what y'all also talked about on the last podcaster we did some, where I surprised y'all, is that, why are we here? Esther, you're here for this time. It could have been a younger guy, somebody that's typical right out of college, but that wasn't God's plan.
Yep.
So I'm very thankful that God chose me to be a part and that it's built into this family and these relationships. But hearing the kids, like I said, teach, that's the other thing. It's a youth group that I always wanted. And like Lori said, it doesn't matter if it was the 10 or the 30. But to know that the 10 or the 30 that we have are getting the lesson and going out and sharing it as they are in the schools is even bigger to me than just the numerical numbers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because for me, I never would have thought, knowing my weaknesses, knowing who I really am, that even y'all don't, but God does. And we could say vice versa, probably what you are that you say, oh, Gramps don't ever find that out. But God knows, you know what I mean? We're not perfect, as we've said. And so you wonder, why did God use me in this aspect? But that's what he did, and it's all him. But they're going out teaching it. And as I've shared with y'all before, again, like you did, great youth ministers growing up. But I don't know why God chose me to see, as well as like Lori did and all of us, to desire it so much for these kids, that we opened up this place of vulnerability, like you said, to where they're being honest and open, that they can get what they need to be able then to go out and teach it. Whereas I think our youth leaders, they were very good people. I never want anybody to think mine, or I wouldn't be here today. But I just sometimes wish they had a little bit more, as we did with these kids, the true lesson, the openness, to where we could have dealt with things and been better in my high school as these kids are leading and sharing Christ. I mean, they're doing things right now that I probably have just started since I started at First Baptist with this youth group, because that's what I said. They're teaching me, and I'm growing. But I wish I'd had some of that back then, and that's why I'm so thankful, is because I see what they're doing in high school and the influence they're making. I'm like, this is the way it's supposed to be. And that's thanks to God for putting us here, all of us, and then for y'all being willing to serve and help. And it takes every one of us. Again, it could have just been one, but it wouldn't have been what it is. But God's put every one of us here for a specific reason, to connect with people. And that's why we're giving thanks to him for this ministry and this time in our life.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things, like you said, we don't really understand why he chooses us. But one thing I've noticed about our group of leaders, like, all of us we're different.
I was going to say,
we're all different in different ways, and we're all at different points in life too, and we've all had different experiences in life. And sometimes I think the choice, like who he's picking to do this, is because we have this vast, like, surrounding of what has happened to each other in the world, or what we're knowledgeable about, what we're not, what we enjoy, what we don't, how we connect, how we don't, with each and every different person. And when you have a leadership group that's like that, you can be, I'm going to use the word successful, but all in Christ's eyes.
Yeah.
To be able to share and do that.
Like, I feel like that's needed, and you have to, like, coming from different walks can be kind of hard almost to relate on, but you kind of have to use that, because there's so many situations, like, in their lives where I feel like we have to bounce to each other. Like, there's been situations before where I was like, I genuinely have not experienced that. I can't truly empathize with you where you are, but I know who can. Yeah. And I think that's such a strength when you see it as that. But also, like, going off of Gramps is saying that, like, they're spreading the word, they are. And then, like, while we're giving thanks, there's so many people outside of these walls that have taken up a leadership in these kids' lives that have truly grown the upstairs, that I feel like I'm so thankful for. Like, there were leaders, like, I've praised Gramps and he was great, but Miss Amanda was up here when I started, and she molded me into half of what I am. Yeah. And then just, like, every time I turned the corner, like, I was at my cousin's wedding a weekend ago and was running into people, and they would stop me and be like, what y'all are doing upstairs, like, that's amazing, like, we're praying for y'all. And people that have never walked in this church store before. And then there's countless people in our church that give funds as often as they can. They support every fundraiser that we do. Like, every time they see a kid that doesn't have a church home, like, I hear them telling people that they've recommended for them to come here. And, like, that in itself is just so beautiful, that they can see how impactful it is, and they choose that even though they aren't here and they're not directly a part of it, they will still support it in every way they can. And I feel like that is a big reason we've also had so much growth here, is through them. I'm just thankful for what they've done for me personally, and I feel like that's, like, turned into all of our kids' lives as well, even though they may not know them, because there's a lot of our kids that aren't from First Baptist specifically.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not a one up here that most of the women or men in our church would not do a thing for, and that's just such a beautiful thing in itself.
Yeah. Shout out to Stan and Paige and Guy and Elizabeth too. I told them this morning, I said, all right, y'all got to get on the podcast with us. So that way we can shout you guys out too. Amanda and Dawn, all of the parents of every single kid that comes up here, because one thing I don't think we always think about is there are parents who do not want their kids coming to church. And some of the parents that kids that get to ride, get a ride, or either their parents take them to church, thankful for them too, for bringing them.
Shout out to Miss Christy Ward, who brings the whole bus load of kids.
Yeah. So thankful for the parents too, for allowing them to come here, but also for the ones who are at home still teaching, and continuing that same growth in Christ as well.
Well, like I said, coming and starting out, knowing, Lori, both knowing the small number that it was, and again, we're one of the typical churches. We're not anything different than anybody else. Every church, as you said, yours has gone through this. The youth department was just dwindling down and going, but God saw something bigger and put us together. And then, like you said, I was coming in as a youth leader, but then could have just been me, and it was that. But now, like you just mentioned, Guy and Elizabeth, Stan and Paige on Sunday mornings, 5 of us. I mean,
we got a big
nine leaders already. And then, like Lori said, Miss Amanda helping with us, and her parents helping a lot with some of the things we've done. And so you've got that support group, and that's good to know. And then also, the other thing is as you said, the camp isn't all that it's about. But again, I'm just thankful that God led us to Extreme Winter and Fuge. Those 2 camps we have to give a shout out to all the time, because they do a bang up job. Now, I'm not saying there's other camps that don't do just as good, but again, it's like you said, it's God putting the piece together. Those 2 camps are what First Baptist Camilla needed. Yeah. And until the day they stopped doing what they do for our kids, I remember Caroline going off with us one time to Extreme, and of course Stan and Paige, her parents. But when we came home and I asked, Paige was telling me that she loved the trip, and I was thinking, okay, we're fixing to talk about how great Gatlinburg was and Dollywood and the Stampede and all that. And she said, I think she's told me every word every preacher said. And I was like, whoa, that's big.
Not what you were expecting.
Because that's not usually what, and that again is just showing that God knew we needed that camp or that winter retreat that the kids would connect with, and they would bring those messages home, and the fun stuff was great, and you almost have to pull that out of them. Well, what did y'all do for fun?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we went to church. I said, yeah, but I mean, what was the fun activities? And, of course, we've said it, church is fun. But, knowing what people are thinking, and you'd have to almost pull that up. Well, we did Dollywood, and we did, but let me tell you about what the, which is a big thing too.
Yeah. I also want to extend on behalf of Noah and myself a thanks to you guys as well. Because I think everybody in this room does a really good job, not only at helping lead, but for us to have the opportunity to do this and you guys to want to join us and do it as well. But also for D now, because Noah and I we did a fair amount that weekend, but you guys put on a lot to help out with the community and that. Yeah. And I hope we get the chance to do it again. But so I want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys as well.
Well, again, there you go. We're just giving thanks for God doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
A podcast. I would have never imagined sitting here doing this, and I thank you guys for doing this. And like you said, with your worship abilities and leading, all of it has been put together by God to make us what we are, and we just can't be thankful enough on that this year.
I remember blessings on blessings on blessings.
I remember, I think it was right after D now, I was like, Noah, we're going to start a podcast. We're going to do this. And Noah was like, yeah, man, we can do that. And then it was like, but every so often I'd be like, Noah, we're going to start that podcast. We're going to do it. I don't know what it's going to be. We're going to do this podcast. A couple months would go by, and finally I was like, Noah, we're doing a podcast. And I sent him like our logo or whatever, and he was like, man, that looks good. And then we just kind of did it, just kind of started, and then it's kind of blossomed into this. I'm kind of like you. I didn't think, I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but I was just like, we're just going to do it. We're going to see what happens. I was like, these are going to be 30-minute episodes. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What are we on, like an hour and a half now?
Yeah, we're chilling at like an hour and 20 minutes. We are on the record longest podcast so far. which I think it should be, for giving thanks for everything that we've been able to do. And it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, didn't know how this thing would start, but I was like, hey, if God takes it and does whatever he wants with it, so be it. We have fun. We play games and everything, but we also raise the meter later in it, whether it's a lesson or like this, how we're.
Like I said, my closing out is today is just that I give thanks to God for what he's done, and just so thankful for this opportunity, because as me and Walt said, we did not see this coming.
Absolutely.
We couldn't even imagine it, but it's been a blessing, and thank
really
the Lord.
has.
Praise the Lord.
Praise
Amen.
the Lord.
We fixing to raise the meter, the meter, the meter, the meter, the meter, the meter to Aquafina. I need
I hope you guys know just how thankful we are for everybody that's out there listening, for all of our listeners out there too. It's been a lot of fun being able to do this, and for you guys that are listening. You guys want a dad joke? I got a couple of them.
Absolutely.
I'm going Thanksgiving for you guys. Thanksgiving, since it's Thanksgiving, I decided this week alone, I'll give it to Thanksgiving, and I'll go with some Thanksgiving jokes. So, what are turkeys thankful for on Thanksgiving?
Their stuff.
Ham.
Vegans. Vegetarians. All right, last one. What do you call a turkey in the woods the day after Thanksgiving?
Lucky.
That's exactly right. Noah, where can they find us?
Go find us on Instagram at GrowingUpstairs. Go check it out.
All the podcasts, but check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
One marshmallow. Check it out. Woo! Anyways, we appreciate you guys listening and being here.
That's right. And this week, don't forget to eat those beans, greens, potatoes, and tomatoes.
And the mac and cheese.
greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, hog, dog, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkey.
Thankful for all of that and all God's many blessings.
We're looking forward to getting back to it at the end of this week. We check in with you guys next week. Keep growing upstairs.
Bye, guys.